Sometimes it's turkey, sometimes it's feathers, by Lorna and Leisha Ballion. Little old Mrs. Grum found an egg. She was hunting for wild mushrooms, and there on the ground, nearly hidden in the messy nest of leaves, was a large cream-colored egg with freckles. Yes, indeed, an egg with freckles. Imagine! She filled her mushroom basket with soft, new April grass, placed the egg gently in the center, and hurried home with her treasure. Mrs. Grum was so excited she almost stepped on Cat, who was sleeping on the steps. "Wake up, Cat," she said. "Wake up and look at our Thanksgiving dinner. An egg, Cat, a freckled egg, a genuine turkey egg, I do believe." "We'll try to hatch it, Cat," she said, covering the egg with a soft piece of flannel and setting it in a warm place. "We'll hatch it and feed it and let it grow plump. What a fine Thanksgiving dinner we will have. Imagine!" For days and days they watched it and turned it and warmed it until finally one day in May they heard a tap, 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 and there on the freckled shell was a tiny crack. Tap, 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 and the crack became a tiny hole, and they watched and listened and watched. "It's hatching, Cat," said Mrs. Grum. "Oh, what a fine Thanksgiving dinner we will have." It was a sticky, wet, bony little lump that tumbled out of the cracked, freckled shell. As it dried, it became a fuzzy little lump with beady black eyes and a sharp beak. "He's hungry, Cat," said Mrs. Gum. "We'll feed him some oatmeal and fatten him up. What a fine Thanksgiving dinner we will have. Imagine!" Did that turkey eat? He ate everything in sight. Oatmeals, Wheaties, cornmeal, and bread, seeds, nuts, insects, sand, and cat food. Did that turkey grow? "Turkeys grow fast, Cat," said Mrs. Gum. "He'll be plenty big for Thanksgiving dinner." In June, while Mrs. Gum was planting seeds, Turkey was eating strawberries. And while Mrs. Gum was looking for strawberries, Turkey was eating as many seeds as he could find. "Oh, never mind, Cat," said Mrs. Gum. "The more he eats, the plumper he gets, and what a fine Thanksgiving dinner we will have. Imagine!" Turkey ate raspberries in July, red raspberries, black raspberries, white, unripe raspberries, green peas, inchworms, grass seed, and cat food. "Tsk, tsk, tsk. Cat," said Mrs. Gum. "Raspberry jam would have been tasty with our Thanksgiving dinner, but at least there will be plenty of turkey." The grapes grew sweet and purple in August, and Turkey ate them. Grapes, lima beans, caterpillars, pea gravel, and cat food. "Well, there will be no grape jelly this year, Cat," said Mrs. Gum, "but what a big, plump Thanksgiving turkey we will have. Imagine!" And September wind blew the thorn apples off the tree, and Turkey gobbled them up as fast as they fell. Thorn apples, weed seeds, grasshoppers, ladybugs, and cat food. My," said Mrs. Gum. "Have you ever seen a plumper bird than that, Cat? What a fine Thanksgiving dinner we will have." Mrs. Gum shelled corn in October. Turkey helped and Cat watched. The corn will make him tasty and tender, Cat. My, what a delicious Thanksgiving dinner we will have. Preparation for Thanksgiving dinner began early in November. Miss Gum found the hatchet, ground some corn for cornbread. She sharpened the hatchet. She cooked cranberry sauce. She honed the hatchet and baked pumpkin pie, and she polished the hatchet. and mixed up an onion and chestnut stuffing. She picked up the sharp, honed, polished hatchet and said, "Wait here, Cat. It's time to prepare that big, fat turkey. What a fine Thanksgiving dinner we will have." What a feast! Cornbread all warm and crumbly, bright red, sticky, sweet cranberry sauce, spicy golden pumpkin pie, a steaming bowl of fragrant onions and chestnut stuffing, and cat food. "Sit right down, Cat," said Mrs. Gum. "I'll bring that nice plump turkey to the table. Oh, what a fine Thanksgiving this will be." "I have so much to be thankful for," said Mrs. Gum. "A Thanksgiving feast and 2 good friends to share it with. Imagine!" "He'll be bigger and much plumper next Thanksgiving," said the little old Mrs. Gum. "Imagine!" The end.